All right. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. There we are. Hello, everybody. I'm TBW, and this is another live stream and stuff where we do like music and stuff, and sometimes video games, but mostly music. You know, the usual. Yeah. We just double check to make sure everything's going through well. If you watch this from the beginning, you'll hear that I doubled up some audio earlier. So that was bad. Yeah, I'm a noob, I know. It's okay. It's okay. We learn over time. We get better. We get better. Everything comes with practice. Come on. Your channel. It's a live stream. Have it be muted for a sec. Yes. Alright, cool. Alright. Okay. Windows are appearing. I live streamed not too long ago, and I had to delete it because I had OBS set to record just FL Studio, so all the plugins don't pop up. So that sucks. Um, and it just made no sense. You just didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, we're doing the true episode 4 within the stew with TBW. Okay, what are we doing? Well, I have a song that I recently accidentally put out because I forgot to set it on private on SoundCloud, and people have now just been playing it. So, I mean, it's cool. I'm happy. Like, everyone loves it. So, I'm trying to finish it up now so I can just go ahead and release it. Oh, what a time to get a phone call. Okay, hold on. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm getting a call. There we go. Okay. Yeah, apparently my friend just lost her house, so gotta help her move and stuff. But that's not for a few days. She just called me right at that moment. Okay. Back to the live stream. Hi, I'm TBW. So, hold on. Everything running right. Yep. Cool beans. So, what are we gonna be doing? I'm gonna be finishing this song. It's just gonna be done. I want it to be done. I'm tired of it. That's how I know when I'm done with a song. When I fucking don't want to listen to it anymore. Sorry for swearing. I'm good. I'm breaking that. But seriously though, like, that's about when I release the song. It's not about like, oh, this is the next hit. I swear to God, or this is gonna be, easily make it to the top 10. I don't call it done at that point. I call it done when I absolutely just do not want to be a part of the song anymore. And at that point, it's just run its course. And yeah, it's matured. It's done. Like eventually, you just like you change in a mental state over time, and you're just not in the same headspace anymore. And you just like you don't want to. That's what I did with the remix competition. Was it amazing? Oh, not really. I had a lot of mastering issues. It wasn't that great. It was a cool idea, but I knew it was done when I was like, okay, we're just staring at the project file now. I don't know what to do with it, kind of thing. And this is about running its course as well. So I want it to be done. So we're gonna be. I am by no means a professional producer nor a professional mastering engineer. So I mean, like, if you learn something cool, keep just like as a disclaimer, keep that as a side note. I could just be doing something wrong. I could be using wrong terminology. Well, I wouldn't quote me to your producer buddies, okay? But if you watch and follow along, you see something you like, this is a great way to learn at the same time. It's how I learn most of everything I know. That being said, let's get into it. I've already been working on a mastering chain with Ozone 9. So, and I'll just give you a breakdown of everything that I'm doing right here. So, essentially, hold on. Just gotta keep this going, so I know where the live stream's at all times. I also have the chat. There we go. Okay. So what we're doing is I always start my master off with an EQ. Not this EQ. I mean, technically this EQ. This EQ, yeah, we'll start it off with that actually. So I have on my mastering mixer a parametric EQ 2, then an Ozone 9, then span. And span is just to see what it looks like when it comes out and have a good idea of things. What EQ2 is here is just an effect. It's doing nothing more than that. Actually, is it even turned down? Yeah, I'll turn it down even more. So I noticed this really weird thing that EQ2 does, where it actually, for some reason, was boosting my overall sound. Like, I had it over Ozone 9, so it was on the other side of the limiter. And even though it had no additive signals, like, I didn't add anything to it. It didn't have any peaks or anything. As you can see, it's just a flat line with it bending off right here at the sub. Yet it was making everything break the limiter. It was, it was hitting at like +3. So I could be wrong about this, but I think EQ2 kind of adds in some more power. So have it before Ozone 9, so that way it's going before your limiter. And all this is doing is it's automating at the build up. Where are you at? Build right here. Where are you at? Where are you at? There you are. So it's just slowly cutting out the sub up to this point. So it's like this. I don't know how I feel about some of those things. So that's all it's doing. And I just don't want it to break my limiter. So since your mastering chain is basically enhancing everything that is there, you want all the automations and any kind of warping, anything that has to do with sound design or the overall harmonics of the song you want before your like final mastering chain is specifically your limiter. Like, because that, like, otherwise you could get some weird... It's just the order of operations that I've come to find. I mean, if you don't like doing that, you don't like doing that. But that's how I think about it. Now, in Ozone 9, we're making dubstep. Well, no, we're making drum and bass with, like, heavy dubstep influences. And... yeah, you just boost it out of that sub. Just boost it. Just even more. Screw it. Just who cares, man? Just more and more sub. If you ask yourself, does this song need more sub? Your answer is always yes. Stop asking yourself that question, because that'll get real bad real quick. I'll turn up the sub as much as I like. Then I dip around like 300. Okay, this is actually kind of hard to explain unless I show it right here. So, how can I do this? I'm going to mute the desktop audio. So it's just nothing but my microphone for a second. So, you want this specific shape, right? So you want it to curve all the way up here, peak up here, come back down. Right here from 10K to 20K is just noise. It's the, you know, it's really just, I like to look at it as energy. It just adds intensity, but it also can be super sharp, painful, and even sometimes unaudible because people's hearing tends to also cut out around that time. Around that area, not time. Blech. I wish I could speak today. I need to keep drinking this coffee. Right, okay, so from 500, no, let's do this in order, okay? So 10 to about 5K, the way I like to think about it, even like 4K, that's just your highs. And, you know, especially around 5 to 6K, you get a lot of sharp noises and painful noises and irritating frequencies. Yeah, our brains are built, not even like, this isn't even subjective to a person's opinion. Our brains quite literally are built to like dislike certain frequencies, like the frequency of a baby crying. That alerts us, that makes us stressed out by nature, and that's in that frequency spectrum. So you do want highs because we love the sound of a full frequency spectrum, but I just pay attention from like 5K to 6K. Be careful what it's doing. If you look at the shape here, you'll see it actually duck down every so often. And if there is a groove, I usually have that groove. Right, see, it's right there. Because I just don't want any like harsh or annoying or distressing frequencies. I want it to sound intense. I don't want you to like get annoyed. And oh boy, when you make some of this sound design out there, you know, it's really easy to get annoyed. It's really easy to get annoying noises. So you see the overall arc right there, though. That's what you want it to look like. And that hump right there is basically your harmonic spectrum, where you're getting sound, where you're getting the melody, you're getting all that sweet music, right? And then you'll see another kind of peak going down like this, and that's sub. And I like to call that the belly. It's the movement, you know. Without it, everything on top just sounds almost like a ghost, like it's only like half there. It's not as full, right? So the sub its job is to really just give some presence, mostly because it like will move your car, it will shake your headphones. Your kick is down there. Your heartbeat likes to match the kick and BPM of songs. If you didn't know that, it'll speed up and slow down and try to synchronize with it if you really really like a song. So that gives the listener the like physical attachment to the music, and you want that to mirror this top end. So that isn't, you know, from a professional speaking, but how I like to look at music and when I do my songs, that is kind of how I think about them. Cool. 1K. All right, because it's set 4. So like 2K to 1K. I know that around right here is the sound, is the frequency of clapping. So that's a point of reference. It's not a bad sound. It can be harsh, but it's where 2K and 1K is where a lot of your transients live for your drums. Your kick, your snare, claps live there, hats live kind of around there. There is harmonic content to be had, but it tends to be kind of harsh and at times kind of was kind of washed out almost. It's important, but you know, your lead doesn't live there. Your lead is going to be upper or lower to there. But it isn't. If you were to completely cut it out of some synthesizers, though, it would kind of feel a little weird. You know, it's important, but I just wouldn't make that like your highest frequency. I would usually use it mostly for transients. So 1K down to like 500. That's your harmonics. That's like, for a reference, that's C4, not the explosive, but on the piano, C4. It's the 4th octave, right? And that's it's an octave that sounds very complete and whole. It's not super high and light. It's not super low and like messing with your sub and giving you some intense vibe. It's just right there in the middle. That's why it's called middle C. And so from like 5K to 6K, I want very strong. I want it compressed. I want every single frequency to be really hitting where it needs to be hitting and smoothed out. Like I'm a little bit disliking of some of the peaks I have here because I just want that to be. I want the harmonic content in there to be really emphasized and really full, because you will get warmth there. You will get clarity. That is where I would call my heart of my song, is that 500 to 500 to 1K, but it's incomplete without this top end. You gotta understand, like, you want this nice curve right here is where if you were to pull out another song, yeah, if I don't play it, I guess it's fine because I don't think it's recording audio, but let's see here. Desktop. DJ Music Live. Barely Live Weeble Wobble. Okay, so you could get this from Barely Live's Patreon. A free download to the wave of Barely Live's Weeble Wobble. And so we got that soloed, yes. And we have a span on our master. Or our end. See, this is Barely Live song, right? Okay, this song has made money. This song, I don't know how much. I mean, the music industry doesn't really pay that well. But it is a professional song that, personally, I flippin' love, right? And you'll see that same shape I'm talking about right here. I have this set to turn that down. See that? That is what a well-balanced song looks like. And then you go back to mine, and then you start to go, okay, yeah. You're not quite there yet. This is, yeah. But it looks very well-balanced. See the lows right here are a little bit higher. It does seem kind of flat, but if there is a shape, it's right there. Because that's just how we like to hear this kind of music. So having a reference track is super awesome to have, because it will, you see what professionals do, then it'll help you figure out how to make it yourself. You got to analyze it. So yeah, right here could definitely be a lot louder. Possibly maybe too steep of EQing. Maybe if I open up the sub more, actually. It's right about there is where your sub ends. But I like to keep mine nice and narrow, because I want it to be nice and punchy. I don't want too much of that boom noise that that sub makes. I don't want it to be too harmonic. It's supposed to be, you know, punchy. It's supposed to be rumbly. It's supposed to be this low frequency that just like really like hits you in your gut. And when it starts to get harmonic and boomy, it starts to just have some weird qualities to it. Yeah. So maybe some overall just compression would do this whole lot. Okay. So now I'm done explaining that. Get back to computer audio. So one thing that would help kind of do that is by pushing this up a little bit more. Never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, say goodbye. Now verses and build-ups kind of have a little bit like defy those rules. It's really about your drop and I would say your peak moments of melodic content, you know, just your hooks, your choruses, just points of a lot of energy. That is where you really want that shape. But obviously, you know, you're not going to just play the hook all the way through the song. It's going to change and morph and, you know, have a bunch of transitions and effects. And so obviously that is going to dramatically affect how it looks building up to that point. But overall, when everything's playing, that's the overall mix down shape. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye, say goodbye, let you go. It's playing Weeble Wobble. Don't play Weeble Wobble right now. Hopefully, like, none of it got, like, played actually on stream. And you guys could just see the visual part, because I don't know, I don't want to get, like, copyrighted or anything. No. I don't want to piss off Barely Life. I like those guys. They're cool. And I love their song Weeble Wobble. And they use it as a reference track. Is this song in any way like Weeble Wobble? No, it's not even the same genre, but it's close. It's close enough. It's close enough. You get a fully mastered song. I used Weeble Wobble for other songs as well as reference tracks. I've also used one of Virtual Riot's songs. What is it? Wallmonger? I think I used Wallmonger on the remix because that I feel like had similar. Yeah, it had similar kind of progressing and pacing. So I based a lot of that off Wallmonger. But I only have the MP3 of that because I do not have that the normal way. I have it but Weeble Wobble I got the wave from the Patreon, so you should like go to the Patreon if you want to DJ and not produce and just like play other people's music, which is totally fine, dude. Because people like that are vital to the music industry. Like, you know, that's just it helps distribute music, especially in a time where music distribution is pretty weird because everything is like streaming now. There's no point in even making a CD anymore. Just people just now do it for fun. People are like, if you're going to press anything, you're gonna press in vinyl, just because that has more value than a CD at this point. For the most part, the industry is just focused on streaming now, because that's where the money is. That's how everyone listens to music. I'm off on a little side tangent now. Let's see. Let's check the stream real quick. Neat. Guys, if you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe, so that way you can check out more live streams and future videos. I am currently putting some money aside to get some nice video editing software, and I actually already have bought a new camera, so that's on its way. So we'll have a face cam, and hopefully I'll start just having some regular old YouTube videos as well. So if you're watching this, please leave a comment or send me a message, really anywhere. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and even here on YouTube. Just message me what you would like to see, and I'll get right on it, man. I'll get right on it. You just let me know what you want from me. Okay. Side tangent over. Let's master this thing.
Never gonna let you go, never gonna say
I'm actually pretty proud of how that looked right there. Oh, that was exactly what I wanted. Oh, I'm clipping. I yelled at my microphone. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I can't wait to have the camera so you guys can see how wacky I am. Till then, though, you're just gonna have to imagine. It's still not as smooth as, you know, how Weeble Wobble looked, but one, we don't have to be exactly like Barely Live or Virtual Right or anyone, okay? You know, you be you. Two, you're gonna only get to get better with time, but don't think that like early on you're just gonna magically just be perfect and know exactly. Oh yeah, you need to do this more. Use this plugin, or oh, I got a trick for this. We don't have that yet. I've been making EDM for a year now. I've been producing for 7 or 8 years now, and even now I don't feel like I know as much as I should, and I'm constantly open to learning. Constantly. I'll never say no to learning something new. In a constantly growing industry, even when you've been doing it for 20 years and you're a master, someone's going to make something new. And it's going to be cool. So always just be open to trying new things. Thing to pay attention to with your master, I think the part where you have to like memorize like what hurts, the most is like right at 200 you got your snare, right around 100 is your kick, about 50 to 100 is your sub, actually like 40 to 100 is your sub, because your sub could get pretty low, just some people's speakers might not be able to get that low. And then boominess lives right here around like 140. So you got to be careful. Where you want to do some EQing right there to get rid of some of the sub boom. But you also don't want to be cutting out, the top end or the bottom end of your snare kick. So you got to be very, very gentle with that EQ. As well as right there, behind 500, past 200. A lot of this content doesn't have a lot in it. I would group it with your harmonics up here. It is part of that. Little bit. I think it's up to right here. Spansa makes it look like it's right here, or even like right here. But your sub kind of goes as far as like 250 at sometimes, and around 250, that's where the sub starts. Since it's literally the border between the harmonic section and the subsection. You're gonna get a sub that's kind of half harmonic, half sub, and you don't want that. That's bad. So you also want to dip around there, or at least just be mindful of what's going on right there. I don't think I actually have anything here to. No, that's actually what this guy's doing. Well, I'm like right there. Yeah, we can push that all back even further. Yes. The kick sounds a little bit buried, a little muffled. I don't quite honestly know what to do about that because I have it pretty saturated. I have it EQ'd around like 2K for transients. Pretty sure it's like a really like. Oh yeah, looks like I have a clap on top of it. What the heck? There it is. The gyro kick. Yeah. And then looks like I even have the transients from the clap on top of the kick. So, okay, we could turn that up then a little bit, but. And this is not how I would normally EQ a clap. This clap is specifically in this song used as just a transients enhancer for several different instruments. It's thrown on all the snares, or no, it's thrown on I think it's thrown on the upbeat snare, just to give a sense of back and forth. Just sprinkled in, just add a little bit of extra transients and punch to that specific hit, and then literally I snipped out the transients of it, like that small, and put it on every kick, so that way the kick also has a. That's what Barely Live does sometimes, is to do that. So that's to give it a little extra. I might even have that too short. Yeah, because if you look with this kick here, it does not have a lot of transients. Wonder. Let's highlight this. This is where project organization and sample management is huge. Oh my god, because I could literally just select this entire lane and boom, I could make this one adjustment to the whole song. I want it. If you look right here, zoom way the H in. Yes, look right there. Okay, you see how it curves up? You see where it's like super dense right there? That just like, and it fans out. So these really spaced out waves, that's sub. That is nothing but pure unadulterated bass. Okay? Where it's super close like that, that means the hertz. You know, this is super basic stuff, so bear with me if you already know all this, but for the people that don't understand, it's really loud. It's way more in the upper spectrum, and it's super condensed, it's thick. That's the transients of the kick, right? Now, look how high up that goes, right? Because how far out it goes is how loud it is, right? How big the curves are. So its loudest point is after the transients. That's why this kick just kind of sounds more body and less just punchy and stabby. So I'm using the transients of my clap, which I'm now looking at it this close. That is awful. Maybe just that. Just that. I think it sounds the worst. What is it over here? I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Yeah, it gets it kind of, you saw how it had those two peaks in there, right? So it's almost making this little bit of like a rattle. But, oh, it's not necessarily bad, because it almost has the interpretation of just a really distorted sub, or kick. The song also has a distorted sub, but the kick is also, it's a pretty distorted song. It's really loud. If you noticed on here, we are like redlining so hard. But you gotta understand, redlining's different when it comes to like bass music, because it's just, you can use it as a form of compression and saturation by deliberately redlining. You just gotta understand what's redlining and why it is, and you'll be fine. Like, don't just redline because it sounds loud AF, right? You know, Matt in one of the Barely Live live streams said if you want something louder, Just turn it up. That's a quote directly from Matt from Barely Live. So you can literally go on their YouTube channel and watch that live stream. He says that. He actually says that. If it needs to be louder, just turn it up. But like, why does it need to be louder? That's a question you should ask yourself, right? You know, one thing I've noticed is sometimes just doing some saturation and compression, you will be hitting at the same exact volume, and it will sound lighter, and it'll take up like a better portion of your mix, because the sound, the note, oh god, how do you explain that? Notes, right? They're 500. That's C4, right? And then I have it written down somewhere, but C5 is like about right here. Okay, so if you hold down a C with a lot of harmonics, like a unison on it, you're gonna be seeing all these little bumps that slowly scale down, and then at 1K, it's a big bump scale down. Those are the harmonics for C. Where was I going with this? Because now I almost lost my train of thought trying to figure out how to explain that. So if you compress and saturate, all these little bumps in between that make up C will get louder, right? And so it'll just become more of a full C because you're compressing. So the lowest peak gets closer to the highest peak during compression, especially when you're using something like OTT. Okay? So that's why when you put something through OTT, it could be literally just as like not increasing in dB whatsoever, but it will pop out more in your mix. That's because the subharmonics have now been brought up, and it just has a more it takes up more space on here. That's a good way to think about it. It's taking up more space. It is quite literally from a spectral point of view bigger. So when you're that's why you compress and you blow it. I like to call it blowing it out, just literally exaggerating it. You're compressing all those subharmonics and bringing them up, so you are, that sounds level, it sounds more full, and you get a lot of those high energy loud noises. That makes any sense. So don't turn it up because everyone likes to redline. Turn it up because you done your step by step. You analyzed it with like span. You compressed it. You did some processing to it, and it still's like it needs to be just a tad bit louder. Then turn it up. Then hit the red line. Okay, and there's certain things that I just know should never redline. Your ARP should never be redlining. That is a background instrument. That should always be like, if you're redlining with it, it is taking up way too much space in the mix. It's no longer like a ARP for texture and ambience. Now you're almost making a lead at that point. So your ARP should never be doing that. My chords should never be redlining. I'll compress them with OTT and all that, but at the end of the day, I do not want them, because whatever's going to be redlining is literally going to be center mix. That is going to be in your face. Your attention is going to be focused on that. Actually, in this whole entire song, the only things that are redlining are my kick and my snare, because I like really, really, really loud kicks and snares, and my drop basses, and I think maybe at some points my sub, just for that thickness, but beyond that, nothing here redlines.
I'm never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, bye, say goodbye, bye, bye, say goodbye.
So a lot of the redlining that is happening, that Ozone is picking up right here, is really just the transients of my kick and my snare. That's actually what's hitting it. And it's also good to note that when you have a lot of instruments being played at once, the harmonies that are similar will stack up on top of each other, thus making them even louder. You know, if you ever like put like a chord stack, like a saw chord stack, and then you had a saw lead, right? But you had the saw lead like dip down into some of the same octaves as the chords or something like that, right? And they have a point where they blend together, and you'll notice that just one will just for some reason start to sound extra loud. That's why. It's overlapping frequencies. So when you're doing sound design and song structure, try to make every layer not be, as far as frequency goes, like the same. I had that issue with this song where the chords. I'm just turning this stream into talking about the song. I don't even really. I pretty much just mastered it. Like, I'm happy kind of where that was at just a moment ago. So, I mean, we're pretty much done here. And now I'm just doing TBW lecture on my thoughts on mastering. Because if you look on YouTube, everyone that has talked about mastering all says, like, I don't know, I'm not actually a mastering engineer. Even Eliminate recently put out a video where, like, this is what I do to master. I don't know, don't trust my opinion on it. This is just what works for me. And you're gonna hear that literally across the board. And every time someone even attempts to do a tutorial video on it, they like always leave a disclaimer. So mastering is the process of taking it that extra last little bit of step. It is usually comprised of compression and EQ. It's a little bit of saturation and some final automative touches, especially in pop music. There'll be an automation on the volume to make sure there's extra punch and dips and, you know, a little bit of changing energy throughout the progression of the song. You don't quite need that for like dubstep or anything or drum and bass, but for like pop music, that technique in mastering is heavily used. So mastering is a pretty broad topic, and it could be encompassed simply by, I mean, Skrillex has been known to literally just slap a limiter and call it good. I think Virtual Riot released one where he didn't put a limiter on it at all. It was the one he released was redlined, like it went like, and just let streaming services in the rendering process clip it and limit it. And it sounds loud AF, dude. Like that, you know, like that's what you do. Like that literally could just be mastering. Eliminate throws an OTT on it. I like to throw an Ozone 9 on it. Ozone 9 is pretty helpful. I don't have a beautiful, perfect mix down like some of these professionals I just mentioned. So I definitely could use a little bit of an expensive software handicap to make sure, at least in putting out a product that ain't gonna ruin your day when you listen to it. At least isn't gonna sound bad. Just might not be your favorite song. Earlier I was talking about the harmonic overlapping, and then I got sidetracked. Let's go to drop B. I don't know if it's actually considered a drop. This is my first ever drum and bass song, so I don't know. Take the labeling as what it is. I'm just throwing names to the wind. So we got the patch here for the chords. Okay. So originally I actually just had a regular plain Jane saw stack, which this is still pretty much is, but it has a little bit of extra to it. And then we have the lead, which is this guy. And you notice both have saw waves, and they're both played in the 4th and 5th octave. Therefore, there's a lot, they overlap a lot, and basically at times would mute each other out. So it was super hard to get these two to coexist. It was not easy to get these guys to coexist. So the other one's 39, right? I should really label these. Oh my god. Oh, 39? I don't know. It's somewhere in here. Frick me, dude. There you are. So, both were saw waves. I had them both playing at the same time, basically muting each other out, and they were having a fighting contest to see who could be louder. and whoever won just basically muted the other. So I, realizing this problem, this is a case of harmonic overlap because it's just two saw waves playing in the same octave at points. Oh, and I want to make sure they're in key too, and the lead is basically just playing different notes of the chord that is being played at that moment. They basically were just making the exact same noise anyway. So I had to go into the patch and do my best to keep the feel of them the same while making the actual waves of the output different enough that they could sit on top of each other and not mix. And so I basically took, it's called retro future because I took properties and properties and behaviors of like a classic synthesizer, um, you know, like slow detune over time, um, it slides into the note, which it kind of has. I threw a square wave in there just for the sake of adding that kind of cute texture to it. It kind of adds a little bit of transience and pop to it, as well as yeah. It's something that you like hear a lot in Virtual Riot's throwback EP, where you're just making like those fat chord stacks that just sound like super harmonic and pretty. He usually throws square waves on top of his saw stacks, and it kind of adds that extra layer of harmonics. It sounds really just like I don't know. I think it's like cute sounding almost. So really good to do that. And then Juno, one of the basic tables that you can find that comes with Serum, is essentially, at least this part of the wave table is just a saw wave. Really, it's just a weird looking saw wave, but it's different. It is different. It's not just a saw wave. It's just it's a weird saw wave. So remember, the idea of this patch is just to add enough personality to this where it can no longer blend in with the lead, thus giving them separation while being in the same harmonic spectrum. So that is how you cure harmonic overlapping, is be mindful of your sound design and don't make two instruments that are too close in similarity, or else they will just mix together. You want them to be very different but play nicely with each other. And that's why we got this. So this is just a 8-bitty square wave. Yeah, that's simple. A little bit of detune right there. Is it downsampled? Should be downsampled. It's not though. A little bit of distortion to make it sound extra intense. Distortion just makes things sound angry. Again, we actually have a lot of square and saw wave right here, which is still pretty similar to the bass, but I treated them all differently. I tried to, honestly, if this was going to be anything, it was going to be more square wave, and the chords were going to be more saw. So, yeah, just giving them enough extra difference, so that way, when played side by side, you can pick them out. This 8-bitty part, though, is really important to add. And you notice that they're shorter too, because this has a legato and a slide, so it slides into these notes, as this kind of just adds some punchiness and like, hey, we're on this note now, and mixing those on top of each other. Plus, this is super more like 5th and 6th octave, and then this is more like 4th and 5th. So now we're getting that harmonic range as well. So wherever the chords aren't being, the lead will at least be in, and we'll take advantage of that. So at parts of it, you'll hear more of one than the other. Yeah, if you're not paying attention, that saw lead still kind of likes to mesh in with those chords. But that 8-bit square wave on top helps kind of, even when you, and I've shifted the song into mono. I gave it the mono test. I'll do it right now. It really helps with that as well. Basically, almost gets rid of the chords, but they're there. They're there enough. Anytime you're going into mono, you know you're gonna lose something, so you want to just make sure what you're losing isn't like the most important part of the song. In mono, I still can hear the chords. They just get a little bit more suffocated. There's gonna be some. It's gonna sound a little worse in mono. That's just a given fact. But overall, I could hear every single element of the song. That is your goal. Is when you switch it to mono, you want to be able to hear every single element. At least to some capacity. Might not be as loud, might not be as cool sounding, but it needs to be there, and it needs to not like sound awful. I think that's a good general rule.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go.
What the heck got muted? What's going on? What's going on here? I guess that was just a glitch. It just decided not to play, that's it.
Bass goes. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go.
Something's getting muted, dude. What is it? Somehow the bass got off 14. Don't know how. Where do you live? There we go.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you go. Never
You heard that little glitchy noise, right? When it switched over to that hook. I don't know if that's my computer shitting itself or what. I know that there is an automation on Camel Crusher for the vocals to be pretty much turned all the way up to distort them as much as possible. Wherever that's at. It's around here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. But it could be that, right? You know, there's a chance that's what's making that noise. I think. I don't know. There it is. This is the Camel Crusher mix that just distorts the crap out of the vocal during certain points. Yeah, but I don't intend to fix that at all. If that's just my computer crap, if that little glitch noise makes it in, honestly, it just works as a really cool impact. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just my computer crapping itself because it didn't play right there. But if I do it like this. Like, that sounds almost like a... It just sounds cool. I don't care if it makes it in or not. See, that's one of those points where it's just like a happy mistake or happy glitch. I think that sounds cool. I don't care. Let's see, I think that I about covered everything that I think about when I master. You know, I told you how to pretty much cut up your frequency spectrum into certain elements and ways of looking at it. I showed you my mastering chain. I showed you how I think about my sound design. Yeah, that's, you know, do all that and you'll at least have an okay song. I could just about guarantee you that. I don't know if I can say this is some professional advice or tutorial. I would not put this on your resume, but I mean, if you follow those rules and those general concepts, I think you'll at least come out with a song that at least sounds listenable and complete. And then just take it from there. I'm always learning. Everyone's always learning. And it's a community, so just share what you learn and get it out there and help everyone else. I used to think making music like this was impossible for me unless I had thousands of dollars and a bunch of connections. Okay, fair enough. I have spent a lot of money on the studio by this point. I have spent thousands. But that was over time, and you don't need that to at least get started. What am I? Not like 10K now with my studio. And I'm looking into some new MIDI equipment here, so that's about to go up even higher. I kind of want to do the Akai Fire for FL Studio, the only MIDI controller in the world that is like advertised for FL Studio and partnered with FL Studio, which I think is dumb. Like, FL Studio, why don't you have more like keyboards and stuff? Like I have a Novation launch key and that it seems to work just fine. Some features kind of bug out, but you know, it's a keyboard and I can link stuff to the knobs, so overall, I mean, I'm not complaining. But having like a native keyboard or a controller of any kind is pretty, like, if you look at the launch pad for Ableton, it's so awesome. I mean, like, it basically, you could just look at the launch pad just by itself and nod at your screen and make a song. But is that versatile, and it's really cool. I personally, I won't tell you to go FL, Ableton, or whatever. You pick the software you want to use, man. I ain't about this stupid DAW wars. Actually, if you look at the bottom left here, there's Ableton. I have both. I like both. I have spent 7 years using FL Studio, so this is what I use. But I have no shit to talk on Ableton. They're two different DAWs. They're good for different things, and they're bad at different things. And it's just kind of like, you know, what do you want to use, dude? Get used to it. Whatever. I like to think of it as a DAW is how you like to think about music structure. Because it lends itself to that. One thing I really, really, really like about Ableton is everything is like, it has its windows, right? You know, on here, when I open up a project, all these like files will open up in these windows and all this stuff. It goes everywhere and it's all stacked on top of each other. Ableton doesn't do that. Everything has its spot and you can see it without blocking everything and having to dig through a pile of open windows. FL Studio is terrible about that. It loves just like stacking it on. But you know, I also really like kind of the general look and UI of FL Studio, though. You know, take away the spammy window hell that is FL Studio. My brain just digests what I'm looking at right now so much more easily. And that may be because I've just been using it so much longer. It probably is, but I kind of just like how FL Studio looks and feels. You know, I feel like when I look in an area for something, like it makes sense that it's there. As Ableton, one, everything is just literally the same color, so if you have bad eyesight like I do, I recently just got glasses, but if you have bad eyesight, like things on the screen just blend together. It's not super visual. I like this is a creative art, right? So I like to be inspired when I look at stuff. But I'm not saying either one wins. Both are good, and other ones are good out there too. Logic's good. There's a bunch of good DAWs out there. Hell, dude, if you want to flex with Reaper, dude, do it. Do it, man. Tag me in it. Show me what you make. Like, hell yeah, dude. I don't care what DAW you use. All DAWs are welcome. Just FL Gang is also, like, the coolest, though. We're the coolest gang. But, you know, we don't discriminate against other ones. Just FL Gang's coolest. Alright. I think we talked about everything. How long has this stream gone on for? It's gonna go on forever. 24 hours! 2-week long live stream. Let's do it. I want to see how long it's been going for. Oh, right there. I have a timer on my phone. Check that out. 1.5 hours. At some point, I need to eat dinner, don't I? No, just more coffee. Okay. Oh yeah, okay. Even though I'm pretty much done with the master, people like to say you want to do your song in steps. You know, you make the structure, sound design, mix down, master, right? Like, dude, if you want to change a section after the song's pretty much done, one, save before you do it. Keep copies of things. But beyond that, do it, dude. I mean, you might make something really cool. Honestly, some people like to do sound design with their master on or with their fat rack on because, like, that's how it's going to sound out on the other side of everything. So sometimes people will make sounds or do mixing decisions with certain things on. Just don't be afraid also to, like, turn them off and compare and be just mindful of what you're doing. Pay attention. Don't just carelessly do things. Is basically what I'm saying. Like right here, I don't really like how, one, actually, the drums for this entire song are exactly the same. I don't use any other samples. And I kind of feel like that's a big no-no. Like, you want your drums to change. Besides drum fills, which are sprinkled in some places, somewhere. I don't know where the drum fills are. I think that's one. Yeah. There's a drum fill. It's not even really being used. Just kind of in the background. I know there's another one. There's one right here. No, there is. I deleted it. That's right. And I just recreated the drum fill with my own drums. That's right. I just kind of... That's one thing you could do. If you don't know how to make drum fills, slap a cool one in from Splice. And then just, like, copy them. Just basically rip them off using your own drums. And then you'll also kind of learn some of the patterns. There's only so many ways to play drums. There's only so many different fills out there. I mean, get creative, make weird noises, do some interesting sound design choices, because that's literally all you got when it comes to that. As far as like timing and where things hit, I mean, most of it's already been done at least once. Most of it, you know, not all, but most. So yes, as far as the rhythmic element of a fill goes, if you want to outright just like have the same placement, so and this didn't like I did copy verbatim, but there were some hits, some hats, and other things in it that I didn't like, and I removed. I only kept what part of it I liked. So it's really, I mean, if nothing else, it's educational. Just learning how fills work. That's something that I'm not as good at, and I'll happily admit that, and I want to get better, and that is the route to getting better. Kicks. Yes, I know. I bought the entire pack. I love it. It's the best pack ever. I also bought that whole pack too. Rid of. Oh, God, oh, that's cool. I almost want to make a yoi out of that. Oh, maybe. Let's listen to the part real quick. So right here, I want different drums because I feel like these drums are just way too over the top for how gentle this section is.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go. Hey. Never gonna give you up.
Am I gonna mute the whole build up too? We're just gonna use different drums for the build up. Maybe. We'll start off with that, and maybe, I don't know. I might change my mind later. But yeah, let's just mute all that. Just no. Well, we might keep the hat. Mute them for now. Mute them for now. You know, that's why you mute and not delete. Only delete when you're certain it's gone forever. You absolutely do not have any second thoughts. If we scroll through here, we'll find other things that are just muted. They're there. They're just muted. So now we got a nice empty section.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye.
That actually sounds pretty cool with nothing. I mean, this is a cool song. I like this song. I accidentally released it earlier. Because as you see here, I'll put things on private that I'm working on. So that way I could play it in my car and give it the car test and the phone test, and I could show it to other people if I send them the link, so only exclusive people can like listen to it. And I like doing it that way. Well, I did this at 2 a.m. and I forgot to make it private. Come back a couple days later, and it is my most like in 2 days. I got every single view here in 2 days. Not a single song I've ever put out has grown that fast. I'm pretty sure it peaked. It's not going to go any further, and at the end of the day, it's nothing too crazy. But I was like, "Whoa, really?" So that I said that at the beginning of the stream, but if you're just jumping in, yeah, I want this song. I want the finished version out now because I can tell that kind of validates the fact that this is a song that people would like to listen to. So there are listeners for this song, and it's weird because this is my first ever drum and bass song ever. And if you hear it, it's got some future bassy elements in it, and it's got some dubstep elements. It's got a lot of dubstep elements in it. I don't listen to a lot of drum and bass either, so I barely even know what drum and bass sounds like. Making this song, I did some research, and some of them were like completely like not even sounding remotely like this, and other ones did kind of like they had some growl noises. And so what I'm doing isn't too far out there, but it really does sound like a dubstep artist just trying to make a drum and bass song, because that's what it is. And am I going to continue to do drum and bass? You bet, dude. I freaking loved making this song. This song came together so well. I actually really like drum and bass. I didn't know I liked it, but this song kind of got me into it. Why I decided to make one? I just one day was sitting on the couch going through Splice, looking for samples, and I got that vocal sample, and for some reason I was just like, let's make it into a drum and bass. I think I just was watching a video on making drum and bass, and I just got really inspired. And it, I have a lot of songs that I make that I never intend to release. I just make them for me. Whatever I put out, I'm putting out to be a consumable product for people to enjoy. It is meaningful to me, but I am looking at it as a product, as I do have songs that are never meant to be released. They're just for me, just for my fun, just to have fun. This was one of those, but sometimes it just goes so well that it ends up crossing over and becoming a official release. Now, yeah. So always be willing to experiment, because you never know. This song, because I experimented, now getting into drum and bass, and I think it's just another genre I'm gonna make it all together. It's cool. I am not getting a lot of progress done. I'm just talking. I'm just going on my tangents. Maybe. I want something that's really not dubstep-y, just kind of more organic sounding. But I don't want it to be too weak either. Maybe. Hold up. Kind of like that.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Never gonna give you up.
This is a great way to sample out stuff. Make the pattern and get it ready, and then you can just do this. Just drop it in like that. Boom. Now we have a different kick there.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna.
I'm not sure if that one worked. Hold on. Oh. Almost clap playered. Oh, okay.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say.
No, that's actually really good for like a drop.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say.
There we go. That sounds a little bit more organic, mostly because it's acoustic with a rattle on it. So.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna give you up.
that change from this really hard kick to this more soft kick kind of sounds a little jarring, but maybe the snare might tie it all back. Oh, that's a pretty big snare. Okay, never mind. Too big of a snare. That's pretty tight. Okay. Tight snare, tight snare.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you.
That sounds awful. That sounds so bad. I hate it. Oh boy.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye.
Okay. Let's bring the hi-hats back in.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye.
Okay, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Actually, I hate the snare more than I hate the kick, so. Well, that's a bad sample. It's just bad use of the sample. Speaking of use. It's 3. Oh, 3. I doubt that's gonna fix it, so. Maybe? Alright.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go.
Alright, I actually really like that there. It's loud, it's punchy, but it doesn't feel like it like carries on too long, and it's super like high and light, so I think that works. I just got beef with the kick now. Let's try it. Let's hop back in kicks and see.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go.
Now it's too subby and angry. Maybe? Actually, I kind of want to try you out too.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. 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 Let you go. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye.
I kind of like it because it's almost got the "We Will Rock You" kind of drums. The if it would just like had doubles at the beginning with ch. But obviously I'm trying not to do those drums. But like the sound design of them sounds like that. It sounds like a stadium full of people stomping and clapping.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye.
Definitely sounds dramatic. Maybe throw this snare back in. No, actually, I don't really want to mess with that snare right now. I like the snare, but the snare doesn't need any more though. It's like just about ready to like be too much. What is this?
Bye. Bye.
Is that the clap? I think that's the clap. Yeah.
Bye. Say bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye.
Now I'm kind of worried about because this kick has a pretty present tail to it, so I'm worried that this might get a little boomy here. But we could always just shorten it out. We could do some tricks to fix that. Maybe we can make it work.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Oh, that's a bit much. Okay, there we go. Now it's every single one. I could be using that paintbrush tool so hard though right now.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Let you go.
For some reason it's got snares.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
That snare is way too much. Way too much for right there. Maybe bring this one back.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Let you go. Say goodbye.
sorry about that. I just wanted to. I have issues with the chat. Currently, I have a second monitor coming, that will help me out with that. Where I'll just have the chat on a different monitor. I just don't want to show any private information while I'm streaming. So, but I can't just do window capture of FL Studio because then you don't have any of the plugins. That's what we tried last live stream and it didn't work out so well. So, just bear with me for a while as I build my live streaming setup. It's pretty ghetto right now, but it's kind of what we got. Still don't know how I feel about this kick. Barely alive kick B's. Just remember that so I can come back to it. Oh god, that assaults you. No. Maybe. Nope. Maybe. Very simple. Very basic.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye.
Okay, that sounds a bit better. That's a bit better. Also, I think I was hearing a little bit of the reverb from the kick. I don't like that. No bass. There shouldn't be any bass getting in here whatsoever. And I don't feel like making a separate or a parallel process EQ just to bypass sub from reverb. So I just want this reverb not to be doing anything with the sub. Is it so hard?
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go.
why, if for those of you that don't know, why my drums are set up the way they're set up is, actually, I'm not even sure about that limiter. I don't know why that limiter is there. I might turn that off. But OTT, not just because OTT makes everything sound amazing, but you should always do some compression on your drum bus. That's a great way of just like kind of locking everything onto each other, converting what was once a bunch of different samples that are panned differently, and mono and stereo, and just kind of just packaging them into one thing. It helps them sound really together, like it's just one drum track playing in the back. That is a tribute to compression. And then EQ, that's just a sweep effect, nothing big. Reverb. Reverb's a good way. You want it to be like very short, not very strong, not very present, but by having it there though, just the slightest delicate amount, you have put everything into a room. And if everything's in a room, then it sounds again like it's just one sample. And I actually kind of want to make it a box. So one room, everything is just in a room. The drummer is inside that square, and every single drum, all the different layers are inside there, and it sounds like just complete, sounds whole. And then just make sure, because you don't want sub in stereo, it has to stay mono, so make sure your sub is very much out of the mix. No bass, none of that, just out. We just want the highs from it.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye.
You want it to be super, super subtle, but this is how you can make all your entire drum section sound like it's coming from the same source.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye.
What is this snare anyway? G sharp. Let's have a look at G sharp. This song for record is in C minor, and G sharp isn't even in that. Wow, how'd that get past me? That makes me feel real dumb. And I was close to submitting this song. So G is found in the first degree, so if we pitch it down 1, then we're within a first degree triad. But I kind of want it to be higher. So we can go to... Oh no, G sharp is in this. It's just I have it written here as A flat because I'm an idiot. Why do I have it written as A flat? That makes no sense. That's not, you would not call it A flat in this instance, but that's what I have written here because I'm a weirdo. So G sharp is in there. This is the 6th. It's the root to the 6th. Okay. I still don't like that. Make it A sharp? Let's go up 2. That'd be the 7th degree. I actually kind of like that. I don't like the idea of it being the 7th, but the tonality of it I kind of do like. It's nice. It just made it more punchy and more sound like a snare. It needs more energy. I still want it louder. Louder! Now, we have these new drum samples here that we can take advantage of. So I'm thinking maybe right here. Get rid of you, right? And you. And you. No, we're just muting this entire section right now. Perfect. Oh, not you, actually. Not you either. I want you on. Okay. Perfect. And this snare right here, it's a snare I made. Not you. Is it you? I don't think it's you. Yeah. Yeah. It's that guy right there. And I have better. I'm using it pretty much as a rim by cutting the tail and processing it like a rim. Except for it has one hell of a freaking decay on it. What is that about? I guess it's just from the reverb. Yeah, but it's got one heck of a reverb on it. But it's processed mostly like a rim shot. I have better ones in Splice, but I really wanted to use one of my own drum samples that I made from scratch that I have 100% rights to, and I made 100%. I mean, I paid for all these samples, but this is mine. This is my snare. There are many like it, but this is mine. These are all mine. And those are made just using the noise oscillator and Serum. Except for this one that's coming out for the sample pack I'm working on. That was made using a sample of definitely not a drum. I don't know what it was, just weird noises. That's a whole thing in itself. I'll talk about that one day. But yeah, that snare was made differently. Okay. So that's why I'm adamant about it being in this song. Okay. No more sidetrack. Get stuff done. Grab you. Yes. Bring you all the way over here. Except for, we gotta modify it to the pattern. My brain does not like this right now for some reason. This hurts my head. Okay. One directly after. One behind that snare. That's pretty much the pattern right there. This goes boom, chip, boom, chip. Okay, yeah. And then the snare does a thing right here. Just kind of just wail on that snare for like a solid minute. it's just important to have different drums for drop and everything else because yeah, it kind of tells you how to feel. The drums, I think the drums are probably the most important thing in any song. They sound simple, you know, a lot of same patterns are regurgitated in the industry, but it's only because they're just so important. They're so effing important. So you can create, you know, like, so this is all intro, verse, build up, right? Not the drop. Not the drop. This shouldn't have as much energy. It shouldn't feel the same. This is all drop. Even if this isn't technically a drop, I do hear this in drum and bass though, where like they'll do like a drop or like a really intense moment and then kind of go through this like verse or hook or chorus kind of thing for a little bit and then go to the reset instead of resetting immediately after the drop. So I don't know. I'm not sure if it's appropriate to call this a drop, but it's kind of how I treated it anyway. It's 2 really, really long drops. Yeah, but this is the moment of intensity. This is a moment of high energy. This is the part where, you know, people are jumping around, freaking out in the crowd, right? So that's the drums I want for that section. And these drums I want to be associated with moments of more lighthearted, take your breath, just do kind of more of a sway dance, not the full on get down, catch your breath, then come back into the drop and kill them again. So it's good to have that, and it makes it feel like the song isn't just stagnant. It's all these issues that I have with this song is why I meant to make it private on SoundCloud. I did not mean to have people listen to this yet. So yeah, if they like what they hear before, I think they'll enjoy the final product a lot. See what I'm doing here? It's got a little bit of hiss to it, so I'm just trying to take out that hiss a little bit more. Remember, our body's around like 200, so that's where that's where the hit of the snare is, and it's just barely in the sub frequency. So like you're really counting on that, like not exactly 200. Kicks may vary depending on the note they're playing. In this instance, it's a actually, what is playing right now? We all saw that the other snare is A sharp. This one is. Always do this every time you make a song. I would care about this. Don't think that drums are meaningless like impossible notes. They are notes. You know, just because they're more rhythm, and tempo keeping kind of instrument doesn't mean it doesn't have a note and doesn't harmonically, you know, have a place within the song. So this is E5. We don't have E, so this is out of key. We can make it D sharp, or we can make it F. D sharp is in the first triad. We're gonna go with D sharp first, because we already have that very kind of almost annoying hiss to it anyway, so going lower might balance it out. Pitch region, we got a B. That is our 7th. That's fine, honestly, because the snare is the 7th in the drop. And what is my kick here? C sharp. It's a C sharp. No, dude, that's not in key. Why? What it end? Don't listen to that. It's bringing down a C, even though sub sounds shit in C. Since the sub sounds shit in C. Oh, one thing, I don't know if you noticed this in the drop, the sub is not playing the same notes as the bass. It's actually a chord every single one. They're chording each other with the drop bass noise being the root note, because the drop bass can be C because it's playing in like C. Technically, the note on the MIDI is C3, but because of bass sound design and what we do, it's definitely reaches frequencies all the way up to 10K. So, but it is playing C, and we can hear C just fine. Everywhere past, 500, it's fine. Even under 500 a little bit, but that's it. So the sub is playing, basically, so it's C, so I believe I have the sub on G sharp. And G sharp, still not the best note for sub, but it's audible and it's thick. As C, just regular C2, is just way too low that it's getting to it doesn't even process. I actually got some comments and feedback on this song saying, where is my sub? That I didn't have sub. But I wouldn't send people a song that didn't have sub. I literally use this thing. I see it. It's all, anytime I show anyone a song, my sub is hitting up here. So I knew for a fact there was sub, but it wasn't very audible. And, well, you're probably like, well, duh, like, can you not hear it on your speakers or in your headphones or in your studio? Yeah, I do notice it, but there's a little bit of second guessing in this business. You don't get an ear for things until you've been doing it for a really long time. And even 7 years, I still feel like, am I second guessing myself, or can I actually trust my gut here? So every song you get better at that. Some people it comes more naturally. I feel like I struggle a little bit. I'm more like, I approach things from an analytical level of, like, if it's correct, it should look like this. If it's correct, it should have this shape, and things should be doing this. I have, like, almost a checklist, because I, like, just free thinking, I don't trust myself as much with. But I'm getting better at it. It just really is something that comes with practice. And like I said, some people are just more creative thinkers. I'm more of a, like, a rhythmic thinker. And I really like organization and precision and checklists. I have a notepad at my desk at all times with just a load of information. Like, I could tell you middle C. Oh, I lied at the beginning of the stream. Middle C is actually like 261 hertz. Weird. So that's the 5th octave I'm thinking of that starts at 500. Am I correct? Where's that page? Yeah. So middle C is like, there we are. Yeah. Yeah, the 5th octave starts at 500 hertz. Just about 523 to be exact. So earlier what I said about the 4th octave is actually the 5th octave in that context. The 4th octave is all the way down here. This is the 5th octave. This is the 6th octave. That's the 7th octave. This is the 2nd. This the little space right here is the 1st. The 1st is pretty much inaudible. It is not existed in our hearing. Same thing with, like, the 9th, octave, the 8th and 9th. Makes sense? Alright, cool. How to correct... Sorry to mislead you guys, but that's why I left a disclaimer at the beginning saying, hey, I am a little bit of a noob. I am not a professional. Don't quote me on things. So yeah, back to the sub. The sub is just playing a chord the whole way through. It is always playing a note that is related harmonically in key to what the bass is playing, which the bass is playing the actual chord progression, with the first being on
the one being on the first beat, all that. But it is, since it is the one, then it's just a different note on the triad scale.
Why are you playing with me like this? Oh, because it's all right there. See, so it's playing A sharp. I swear to God, if this is also wrong, and I've just been lying through my teeth. No. Oh. What page is C minor on? This is okay. No, it's not. Yeah, lying through my teeth. Look at that. And then it's G right. What am I doing with my life? Oh, because we're over here. Ah, there we go. Oh, I psyched myself up. Yep, G is the third note. Is the top end of the first triad. A sharp is in fact part of the... A sharp is the seventh, but it's also found in the third triad. So it goes to a 1 to a 3 in the drop. 1, 3, and this is a G sharp. Actually, yeah, that part, because that at that point, the bass, the drop noise, has got into a note that is audible and sub, so the sub doesn't need to be chorded, so it does just play what the bass is playing, and it's just the same note. But is it doing that there? Because it goes up here. Yeah, it's just G in a different octave. Yeah. So that's how I did that. That's how I answered the question, because the root note is C. When we hit the drop, we want to be hitting the root note. This is C minor, first degree C. So, but you can't have a sub in C. So this is how you get around it, as far as I know. If you know a better way, please comment, because this is something I struggle with a lot. I fucking hate sub dynamics. It is so difficult and so temperamental that it's hard. It's really, really hard to get a nice, clean, thick sounding sub for these songs. So that was my answer. I did, however, keep the sub C2 for the hook, because I don't think it needed to have a huge thick sub on it. It just needed to fill out that spectrum, and that's it. But if you notice, right there where it got like super thin, that was C. Because it gets so low, it just stops becoming audible. That's why you don't want C as your sub. But I allow it for those parts because there's so much on top of it, and they're all harmonizing with each other. I'm just kind of like sweeping it under the rug, and hope you don't like hate me or nothing for that. At the end of the day, you can just call it a bad song. I don't care. Let me have it. I don't give a fuck. But for drop noises, like this sub is like literally 50% of it, so you kind of need that, because when you have a drop, you have drums, the bass, and the sub. That's it. Yes, you're gonna throw side elements in, and there's an arp here, but there are gonna be a lot of parts where it's just those three things. So those three things better be really, really good, or else it's just gonna go to crap. Here, there's so much going on, you hardly even notice the sub. You just feel a bit of a rumble. You can feel this low frequency. It's really compressed and distorted, so like it has a buzz to it too. It's enough. It's enough at that point. It's not really what you're focusing on. But right here, this is like murder your face, so like you want the sub to be good. Let's work on my bass. Oh boy, this is confusing. That sounds cool. Oh! This sound right here actually was made in the last live stream that never got uploaded because you guys couldn't see the serum patch. So the whole live stream, you couldn't even see what I was talking about. You can just hear it, and it's weird. So I deleted the live stream. But basically, we made this patch, and like I had to name it really, really fast, so I named it Click Clack because it sounds like someone going kind of. I don't know what to call that. So, yeah, that's how it got its name. That's what it is. It's just this really transient noise. It's weird. It's a weird one. It's a weird one indeed. Does it have sub? Oh my god, it has its own sub. Do I hate that? How much do I feel about it having its own sub? I kind of also feel lazy though, so maybe we just might keep it anyway. Is there a sub for that? Tell me God there's a sub playing right there. What the H and F? What the flip is this patch? Oh! Oh, it's being FM from this. Dude, this is an old one. I made this patch a year ago, and it's weird. It's a weird one. It's definitely a weird one. So, do we use a sub? Is there a sub for it? 'Cause it really doesn't sound like there's one. Oh, no, look at that again. Look closely. No. There is no sub for it. That's dumb. I like that. We'll make one real quick. Quick sub. Quick sub. Do. The body works like that. Okay. We can do that. No, come back. There we go. Do something like that. Perfect. Okay, attach that to the volume. It's playing. What is it? A G sharp? Yeah. Just like that. Envelope. It's going on for half a bar, correct? Right? Yes, half a bar. Alright. User, subtable, add some harmonics. Too much. Just like that. Is it tied to 20? It's tied to 20. Okay, cool. Add a little bit more harmonic. Just kiss it. Okay, compressor. Okay, there shouldn't be a high.
turn down the MIDI a little bit too. Turn up sub. We want sub. We want to be a thick boy. Turn that. Do. Q. Do. Boo. 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 Sub does not go past 250, just to make sure that the compressor doesn't add in anything. And we now made a sub for that bass. And I'm pretty sure that's in here too. It's right there, right?
Never gonna give you bass goes. Bass goes.
That kick still bugs me that it's C sharp. If I take it up 2, because the D sharp,
Then it'll be the middle note in the first triad.
and maybe, just maybe, it'll be perfect. Because D sharp should sound fine.
Bass goes.
Basically, by using the notes in the first triad as much as possible in a key where the sub sucks on its root note, you can suggest the root note as like it's basically suggesting that it's there by playing every note and just I mean, of course the lead instrument is playing C, so it lands, it hits on the first degree. It just tries as hard as it can to not touch C as minimally as possible and suggest the first degree as much as possible. So that way you still it sounds in key and it's got a nice progression that feels like it belongs in the song. That's if you're ever having the issue, if you're a new producer and things sound like they just you get to the next section and it almost feels like a different song, that's probably because you should look at what even if you're only using notes of that key. This is something I actually kind of recently learned. It's just kind of embarrassing. If you use all the notes that are in that key and just restrict yourself to that, you still can sound out of key just by what you're landing on at what point. So it matters that you're landing on the first degree at the first note or at the first beat of every section. It matters a lot because that's home. You want home to be defined in a song, so that way, which way you take it, you go up, you go down, whatever notes, you got home, and that the relationship between home and everything you use after it and how you come back to it is what tells the listener, people with like perfect pitch, hey, that's in key or that's not in key. It's huge. It's huge. Make sure you know that. Learn some music theory. I know if you Andrew Hong, he has a video that really really helped me out learn all that. So learn how to construct triads. Do not trust FL Studio's highlight option in the keyboard. Helpers, skill highlight. Don't use that. Do not use that. That is what I did for the longest time. And there's even at one point where it said notes weren't in key that really were, because it has, look, minor harmonic. There's no natural minor here. Maybe it has some fancy name to it and it's one of these. I don't know. Oh wait, there we are. Minor natural ale. Maybe it's that. Either way, just know it. Just know it. If you know it and you're not just trusting the computer program, you're gonna do a lot better because you know why these notes have the relationship they do. You know exactly why, instead of just trusting something to just hold your hand. It's worth just learning. So, and that's mainly what my notebook is filled up with, is just me writing down scales, progressions, everything. Just anything so I could just do a quick reference. Oh, middle C is 263 hertz. Yeah, you know, like I can just go to that. I have C minor written down here. I don't need to even waste too much time looking at the keys. But if I were to be stripped of my notebook, I still can make it all again. If I were to hop on someone else's setup, I can comfortably recreate something. So it's important to learn some music theory, and it's out there. It is for free. Have a notepad ready, take notes, practice. You will get better. Your music will be better for it. I promise you 100%. You will see an improvement if you take the time to learn music theory. I hate it when FL Studio does that to me. This right here. I hate it. Oh my god. If I could ever talk to the makers of FL Studio, Image Line, I would literally beg them to please, for the love of God, fix that. Look, I'm on beat. I'm online, right? I have my DAW paused. I have it set to a line. Copy and paste does not land on a line, and I had to sit there and fix it, and I hate you. Why? Dude, just snap to line. If I want anything else, I will hold down Alt. Look. Oh, if I want it to be off, if I want some weird time signatures, I will go the extra mile. But by default, I most likely want it to line. Why, Image Line? You play me like that. I have no idea.
Let you go. Space Ghost.
something weird I just noticed there. That is super weird.
Let you go.
It sounds stereo right there, but I have it being turned to mono.
Let you go.
Oh, that's right. No, I have it come out of mono right there. That's right. So that way it's kind of slowly opening up. Not sure how I feel about that. Kind of was a little jumpy.
Let you go.
Wait.
Let you go.
No, that's just the delay. I don't know why it's going stereo right there. That's weird. Should not be going stereo at that point. Weird.
Let you go. Let you go. Bass go. Let you go.
I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of that. Let's get that in there.
Let you go.
That's sounding pretty done. Do I like everything about it? No. These kind of one-shot drop noises are weird to me. I'm not sure if they're really as good as they sound.
Bass goes.
Never mind, that part's awesome, but yeah, I'm just, they're not my best work, but it's there. my kind of weird. We still need. Weird.
Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. No. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go. Bass goes.
Wait, those of you that don't know, this is how to make visualizers. FL Studio has this really, really cool. You know, you want an argument for like FL Studio users? This is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome that FL Studio has this. It's called Z Game Editor. It's super cool. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Really great for making just easy visualizers. Yeah. Just when you go to export, right here, it will compile the authors of every single effect you use. Make sure to just have that in your description when you go to upload it. You don't want to get copyright striked or anything like that for it. It's there. It's a software you paid for, hopefully. You have rights to it. Just make sure to credit the people that you need to credit, so that way you 100% probably won't be bothered. 100% probably. You probably won't be bothered if you just make sure to credit the people that put. So, I mean, this looks amazing. Kind of, sort of. It's kind of fuzzy right now. I don't remember it looking like this. It might be because I'm live streaming right now that my graphics card's just getting a little pissed. But yeah. I don't know. What would be a cool one for... What's a cool one for Never Let You Go? What just screams Never Let You Go? Reverse. Is it doing? Whoa! Yeah. Okay, what else you got for me? Whoa, dude. What? I didn't even know some of these were here. That's insane. That's super cool. Love that one. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. I like cyberspace stuff, you know, like just really. Nice. Oh god, that's like narcissism in a picture. In a video. Oh, okay. No, we don't want fog machine. Go back to Tunnel. Tunnel was cool. Here, let's check out Terrain again. That one was the one used for the remix. Burrito burritos. But Tunnel though, I actually did not look at those before. I'm just now discovering some of these. Wow. That is super cool. Like, what the heck is going on in that one? Whoa. Whoa, dude. Wow, dude. I think I'm gonna end up using one of these. What the?
crazy, man. Fractal fly through. Full scene radial blur. What? Doesn't quite scream never let you go though. I don't know what does though. To be fair. Like, I feel like that's just topic that needs context, or else it's just weird. I might use something like this though. Yeah, it even lets me, even has some options for it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then maybe like have it do some stuff. This started out just like showing you mastering stuff, but now we're getting into like video editing. So, fun on a bun. You guys are learning a ton today. Learn it all in one live stream. You are a certified producer if you watch this live stream from beginning to end. Certified. I'll send you your certificate in the mail. I don't like it anymore. Oh, that's reverse. Okay, hold on. Everyone, hold the F up. There we go. Not in time. What the heck?
Let you go.
That's annoying.
Let you go.
I think it has to do with this. I don't know. It has something to do with the lag. Because that's the part of the song where that's playing.
Let you go. Let you go. Space goes.
this is the purple. So we're gonna copy what purple is at. And I just want it to cycle through some stuff. I just don't want it to be stagnant. It gets boring. I don't know. Cycle through some stuff. Yeah, I want it to be red by the time we get to the drop. And then once we get out of the drop, we'll just come back. It will only cycle through because I don't want it to get to the same color as the ring. I don't want to get too close to that. Or else it just gets weird. Yeah. No! Bad FL. Bad. Bad. There we go.
Let you go. Bass goes. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye.
The color change right there at the end. It needs to be a little bit more subtle, like that. Something like that.
Say goodbye, bye. Say goodbye, bye. Say goodbye. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. No. Never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Bye. Say goodbye. Let you go. Bass goes.
Yeah, the speed automation for some reason has a delay to it, but it's on. It should, like the way it looks. There's no reason why it should be doing that other than it just must be some lag between the audio and at least the speed automation, because not even necessarily the videos at a time. So hopefully when I export, it will be on time, If not, then oh, I'll just play with it or get rid of it. But just imagine that slow and speed up effect like on time. That would be cool. Let's see here. Actually, the Never Let You Go logo needs to be higher. I noticed when going to other platforms, the bottom and sides get cut pretty harshly. They're not even like nice about it. It's pretty hard. So we'll put you like right there. There we go. So if it gets shared, whatever, should just stream better that way. You want most of the information to be in the center. Where's my aspect ratio? Can I get go even higher? It's fine like that. I'm not sure about the Yoli and peak shapes, at least how I made it. So layer left. I mean, that wouldn't be the end of the world.
Say goodbye, bye. Say goodbye, bye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, bye. Say goodbye, bye.
What the? That should be 50, not 509, 50. X, Y should also be 50. There we go. Even though the rotation's at 0. Exporting and possibly even uploading this to DistroKid. So I think I'm going to end the live stream there because we've been streaming for a while and commentary is starting to die down. Thank you all for tuning in. If you're watching this in the archives, I love you so much. Make sure to hit subscribe and like for future content. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, what the ever, man. Like, anyway, you like to consume your social media. Maybe you're not a Facebook guy. I'm not, for sure. Hate looking at that thing. Feel free to follow me there. It's either The Blue Wolf Music on Instagram. It's The Blue Wolf on Twitter, but with like 3s for all the E's. The E's are converted to 3s. I mean, if you also go to the YouTube channel, there's links to all this stuff too. And if they're not on the YouTube channel, there is a link to the SoundCloud, and that also has everything. I try to have everything as linked as possible. But that way, you could reach out to me on questions or things you want to see in the future. But with that being said,
I hope you all have an amazing day. Love y'all. Peace out.